Hey folks, just a quick update on what I got going on here in Creative. Couple of builds coming around the corner. So the first thing here is the starter SV, going to be termed the TIE Enforcer. Should be a level 7 start. Um, your basic 4 components for spawn in, or 4 ingredients rather. Carbon, iron, copper, and silicon. A little pricey on carbon, but not too bad. It fits the theme if you're willing to pay for it. It will have a decent upgrade range though, so you'll be looking at the 2x4 thrusters for strafe and also for forward thrust. You'll be able to slot in some additional ones here. Additional weapon mounts. I think there's going to be a weapon mount here. You could go turrets here or 3 on either side of the wing if you wanted to do that. Should be a turret mount down here. You could also do radar here or another turret. Yeah, so this is, I'm looking at getting this out this week. So look forward to that. Cargo at the moment is sitting at 28 and 28. So just about 6K. You will have a Core 9 potential, but you probably don't have enough ship to fulfill all of that, so you probably want to scale that back to like a Core 7 and just fit in as many shield extenders as you can. Let's see, we got potential for a constructor up here if you want to do that, or you could just put in the additional CPU there to open up space for perhaps an additional shield array. So, got your standard bells and whistles, refrigerator, oxygen dispenser, pilot and passenger, Wi-Fi. And not too bad. It's got decent mobility once it's fully upgraded too, so not too bad for a little starter. Definitely, should tick some of the boxes for the Imperial theme. That's going to be leaning heavily once the Star Wars starts rolling. All of the Star Wars builds. And then, of course, there's this guy here that I'm working on. It got pushed back because there was an issue with the textures with the latest patch release. But Apollyon have fortunately since then corrected that, so that's going to save a lot of time. So I guess the only thing now, I just need to go in and finish it. There's a couple rooms I need to work out. So like, so we got a forward room up here that I need to come up with a role for, a function for. So it's probably going to be RP, maybe like a prison or detention center or something of that nature. And then of course up here I gotta fill out this area. So this could be additional armor or additional farm plots. It does come standard with its what is it, 36. So not too bad, but again, it's a warship, so I wasn't trying to fulfill some sort of peak farming role, but that option will be up there up front if you want to do that. So yeah, those rooms, and just kind of finish up some of these in here, get this sorted out. The forward section, I need to find a role for these here. This may be RP as well. And these here, these quarters are kind of, I don't know how, if I really like these, and then they're symmetrical, so I'd probably want to break this up and give this to, if not some sort of function over here, then an RP value as well. And so in this forward section here, this needs to be filled out. So, just a couple rooms. And then after that, just like min-maxing with blocks, block expenditure, where the armor is going to be at versus carbon for cost and weight reduction and all that sort of thing. LCDs will have to be put in too. There's a couple in there, but for the most part, the big theatrical impact LCDs need to be done and put in. So we're going to be looking at a 2.1 million. This is with an advanced warp drive, so I'm going to take that off. A couple other things I'll probably fleece off as well. But yeah, going to be coming in the 2.1 right now. It's a little sluggish on the lift, so I just need to change the position of these lift thrusters to get that corrected. I may end up just putting in some of the advanced, slot these guys in right here, and take off some of the turrets perhaps, or some other devices to get that in. So yeah, so that's the Star Wars stuff, and then of course there's the new kid on the block. This is an SV. This is intended to be the spiritual upgrade and successor to the Sarissa. Kind of working over the back section, getting this fleshed out. There's still a good bit of block work to be done, but for the most part, the general shape is there. So just for scale comparison, we're going to look at the Sarissa. So if you're familiar with it, it's kind of idea of what we're looking at here. I wanted to go for like a pocket capital vessel, and this thing actually performs quite well versus CVs. I was able to clean up anything short of a Tovera, but I think the Tovera was more on pilot error, and I think if I had put on some torpedoes and did some other min-max and stuff, I still need to reorient some of the thrusters. With everything loaded down, which was 10 guns and like 22 turrets. It was quite beefy, so I was feeling lackluster on the dorsal thrust and some strafe. So that's something I'm gonna shore up and get that corrected. Now it will have pods as optional downloads that you'll be able to slot in here. So being that this is an SV, there's going to be the issue of respawn if you're assaulting a POI. So, like one of the pods would be like a medical pod. It would have a clone chamber and I guess with a trauma station. And then perhaps another optional pod could be a just straight up additional cargo. So that could be a thing. Yeah, kind of like a pocket capital vessel going on here, and an LV, if you will, a large vessel. So that's kind of the theme I got going on here, the idea with it. Still working out the textures on the interior, but that's going to be subject to the block work I got going on outdoors, or on the exterior rather, getting that sorted out before I can really tidy up some of the textures. But yeah, it's starting to shape up. Now, this will be a full range SV, so if you're playing Reforged Eden, it should be able to accommodate all of the big toys. So you're talking the progenitor stuff, the warp drive, the shield, and with Reforged Eden, all of the shield extenders, the shield arrays and stuff, we're going to be able to slot in right here, so all 16 of them. The idea here being getting as much value out of this thing in a capital roll as potentially possible, so that upgrade range will be there. And it does perform that role well. I mean, like I said, going up against things like frigates and corvettes and even destroyers, where it was pretty much a joke. Only really the Tovera giving the issue, but again, that's more on pilot error, and the design needs to be tweaked a little bit, and once I do it, that should go smoothly. Yeah, so some RP stuff going on here. The crew quarters. This is going to be a construction area, so dual constructor potential. So we've got I think it's 3 armor lockers in total. Right now, cargo is at 10,000 harvest, and 10,000 ammo. or thereabouts. But after the combat trials, I'm really feeling that I burned through the ammo pretty fast, so I'll look to beef that up. Hopefully, get that doubled. I'd like to get dual 20s, dual 20,000s at the very least. So that's what I'm gonna shoot for. Um, and then I just need to tweak some of the thruster placement here. So when it was fully loaded, it was moving okay as far as forward. You know, I was hitting the 70/130 in space. That was all fine. Reverse wasn't capped out, so I'll have to see about getting that sorted out. So reverse, strafe, and the dorsal thrust, also known as the down thrust, if you will. So that needs to be straightened out. Roll rate was kind of sluggish too, but you know, again, I don't want to try and check all the boxes on making it a fighter. Yeah, I would be content to leave it in a you know, a little sluggish, you know, sort of like a mid-range or small capital agility feel to it. Something like that. Again, 22 turrets. There would probably be placement for a little bit more once I'm done. I'm pretty heavy on the bottom placement, so thinking like POI assault. Testing the drone bases and stuff I was going up against, it went through it pretty fast. Uh, Probably too fast. This thing's really a beast in a role of anti-capital, anti-POI assault stuff. Okay, so then the last thing to show here is I've got what is I guess it's going to be a starter base for Phoenix Starworks faction. So now I've made a base in the past, just on private side. I never released it or anything, but with that build, it was a wide footprint because it was, you know, more horizontal. But here I was wanting to go vertical, so that way I don't have to deal with the issues of trying to satiate like a level terrain. You know, if things like this, you know, trying to get that sorted out over a wide footprint is really annoying. So, you know, here I'm gonna cut down on that by keeping it a small footprint, but you know, try to get all the function out of it going vertical. So, you know, it could be 36 grow plots here, and then second story would be so you're looking at production, and then up here, I'm not sure. I need to fit in some furnaces, so that's going to go somewhere. Whether that's going to be on the second floor or third one or what, I'm not sure. But you know, actually, this might be just utilities, so CPU, generators, solar capacitors, stuff like that. And then at the top, it's going up to some RP elements, which I guess you could also look at it as storage. Sort of a penthouse up here that I'm working on. Gotta look looking the landing pads. You can look at your toys that you have parked. So, yeah, so a starter might be a little pricey on the carbon once I'm done with it. Titanium, I'm not sure about that. I think is that trying out the constructors? I don't know. I'll figure it out. So, trying to get this down to the basic 4 cost. Copper, silicon, iron, carbon substrate. Yeah, so this, alright, so again, this is going to be, I'm looking at getting this thing out this week. This will be following that. And then after that, since I'm burning pretty good on this, this is going to follow after these two. So once I'm done with this, I need to go circle back to some older builds that I got going on for this faction, namely the Drake. So this guy here, yeah, this is overdue. So, I mean, there's been some requests for it. Originally, I was put off by the fact that, so this was prior to Reforged Eden's 1.7 with the big shield devices and all that stuff. And, you know, as I had built it, I didn't have space for that since I didn't know that was going to be a thing. But Just so happened with these forward booms, I was able to fit these in here, but again, I was quite upset because the chain reaction here leading from the fusion, this would spill over and just blow up everything. So that kind of discouraged me from wanting to work on it. But since then, having played with this thing here in battle test, it just has the 6 shields. So I think an easy fix here would be just to take out, 2 of these, and then I could put up some break walls to stop the chain reactions. And here with this fusion, I can push this back. I'll probably cannibalize some of the farms here, but so it should work. Any issues that I had that was really discouraging me from finishing this build, I think that's resolved with that move. So I'll circle back to this thing and get working on it. I need to get it released. Yeah, I guess that's just about it. A couple other things, I'm working on here and there, but for the most part, these should be the projects that are going to be dropping here on the horizon. Alrighty, folks. Thank y'all for checking it out, checking out the video. Looking forward to getting this out. This has been sitting here for a little while. It's not really much left to do, just some LCD work and tweaking placements and getting everything flagged, like where to put the thrusters and all that stuff. Just those things. This might tie up a couple weeks. I'm not sure. I'm thinking, I was thinking a week originally, but with LCDs and stuff, I don't know. It happens that once I get towards the end of the build, sometimes it'll really start bogging down because I start finding things that, I could tweak or finesse. Swapping out some combat steel blocks for, Xeno to save weight or things like that. It just kind of adds up time. So yeah, so this should go pretty fast. Really digging this build. Can't wait to get this out. It's a sweet ride. I'm loving it. That's my new baby right now. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for checking me out. If y'all want to throw me some love, hit that like and subscribe. And I got a Patreon down at the bottom in the pinned comment if you want to check that out. Give me some love there. Or swing by Twitch and check out my build in progress videos I got going on there. Lots of ways to show some gratitude, and I do appreciate y'all for all of your support, whether financial or otherwise, just giving ideas and suggestions on where to take the factions or any of the particular builds I got going on, or just, liking and sharing the work. I appreciate y'all. So I'll catch y'all next time. LyfeForce out.